Aries, welcome. We are back with another hopes, fears, and reality spread. As a quick reminder, this spread is intended to get you out of your head and into reality. It's a grounding spell, and I hope to get your intellect and your intuition working together. Here we go. Whew. Aries. Aries cleaning house. I like it. Oh, ooh. Aries. You don't say. I just want to keep you in suspense. I'm just going to keep making like noises and saying little things to keep you guessing. Aries, you have two major arcana in your hopes. You have the Death in the inverse and the Justice. Now, what that's saying to me is that you are hoping that the transitional period of a particular relationship is over and that you can settle down into equal footing with your partner. Now, this is a general read, so this could be a vocational thing for some, and it can be a close personal relationship for the others. It could be a familial relationship or even a lover. It could be a very close friend. But it seems to me like this particular relationship that you're looking at right now is you just want the transitional period to be over. You want to sit down with this person, figure out what the next steps are, and set a plan for moving forward. That's a beautiful thing to be hoping for. Your fear is that the perspective will not change and that there's a sense of codependency here. It almost feels like one person is overly focused on emotion and the other person is overly focused on finance. That's what I'm getting from the fears. This could very well be a vocational read for most people. But if it works in a personal relationship, take what works, leave the rest. The reality of the situation is that there is a lot of teamwork and intimacy in the energy of this relationship, but there's silence regarding it. It's almost like both people want the same thing, but nobody's actually discussing it because the planning stages seem so difficult. So I'm going to pull some more cards here because what it seems to me is that both parties want the same thing. Both parties want equal give and take. Both parties want to come together and discuss who they are and what they are and how they want to move forward. But there's a silence here. Let's figure out what this silence is about, Aries. The silence is about illuminating past mistakes. Not only is it about illuminating past mistakes, but it's the time that it'll take to make these plans come to fruition in the future. You see, there's a little bit of a fear of being vulnerable here, but this keeps coming up. This is like the third reading this comes up in where I talk about vulnerability. Sometimes the only way to build trust in a relationship is to expose your vulnerability. And that works mostly with close personal relationships. I've seen it work in a vocational situation. For myself personally, I remember I messed up one time really bad at my job and I had to call my boss and talk about this huge mistake I made. And I was scared to do it. So instead of calling him and saying, "Hey boss, here's this mistake," I thought of like 3 ways to fix it. And I called him and I said, "Hey boss, I have 3 possible solutions." And he said, "Solutions to what?" I'm like, "Oh yeah, there's this problem, but we'll talk about that later." The point that I'm making here is if you show the effort before the vulnerability, it might ease your anxiety regarding the situation. That's why that came directly to my mind, you know. So if you approach the situation with this person by thinking about all of the good things that could come, think about all of the possible solutions, instead of saying, "Hey, here's a problem, what do you think?" You can say, "I see this as conflict, but here are some solutions we can work with. Do you see any solutions that we could work with?" It changes the conversation and gives it that equal footing that you're hoping for. It sounds like less of a complaint and less of a problem and more of a plan with teamwork and intimacy. Aries, this is beautiful. You have a chance to do something beautiful here. Don't let it slip through your fingers. I hope you found a message today that serves your highest good, Aries, and I'll see you next time.